I'd like to show you some yoga moves that you can do to loosen the lower legs and the ankles. So it's helpful if you've got maybe foot drop or spasticity in the lower leg. And to do that, we'll start with a variation on chairs, and then we'll go on the mat, and we'll do as well some standing poses. If you have a block, a belt, and either a massage ball or a tennis ball, that would be useful. So let's start with some ankles rotation. So placing the left ankle on the right thigh. Just hold your left foot with your hands and gently rotate your left ankle in one direction, in the other direction, trying to create smooth movements. It's really important to keep the ankles flexible. It's important for balance, it's important for strength, for gait as well. But we tend to lose flexibility. You can also point and flex your foot. So pointing, flexing, repeating a few times. And now let's change side, placing the right ankle on the left thigh and rotating the right ankle. So these you can do slowly or a bit faster, whatever feels good for you. And there might be some good days and some bad days where you can't move as fast as other days. And you probably will also notice a difference between the left side and the right side, which is completely normal. So once you've done the rotations in both directions, you can point and flex your foot. And now we're going to extend the legs. So placing the heels on the chair in front of us and the belt around the ball of the feet. And holding the belt, so it's kind of parallel to the floor, just pointing the feet and flexing really as much as you can. You can do, like now, the 2 feet together, or if you prefer, you can do 1 foot at a time. And you probably will feel the tension in the back of your legs. Okay, and releasing. And now we're going to take either the massage ball or tennis ball to massage along the outside of the shin. And if you don't have one, it's perfectly fine to do it as well without, just pressing down and up, massaging this area where there's usually a lot of tension. And you can also do the back of the ankle, the Achilles area. And changing side. So I'm doing this quite fast today, but you can do that for a longer period of time at home until you feel release. And then once that is fairly comfortable for you, You can do the version on the mat. So I'm going to move the chairs to the side, keeping one though for later. And now we're going to go get on the mat with the feet flat on the mat and sit on the heel. And that might be very uncomfortable for some of you. So you might need to release the tension by lifting your sit bone or bring down again. But the idea is to get to be comfortable sitting like this for a few breaths. If, on the other hand, this is very easy for you, you can go a little bit deeper by leaning back and lifting your knees off the mat, and that will really stretch the front of your feet quite strongly. And coming back and repeating. So the key to all these moves is to do it regularly. The more often you do it, the more flexible you'll get. Now, placing your hands in front of you, lift your bum and tuck the toes under, really making sure that all the toes are nicely pressing against the mat, and sit on your heel, on your heels. And that is quite a lot of pressure, so you might need to lift a little bit and then sit down again. And you might find that one side is less comfortable than the other. It's the tight side, so for me it's the left side. Just focus on your breath. Keep smiling. And again, slowly build your practice so you can stay in the pose longer and longer each time. Okay, now we're going to come to standing for some other ankle moves that are helpful in the standing position. But you can stay close to the chair for balance. And the first one is basically repeating the same ankle rotations, extension, flexions, but placing one foot on a block, and the other foot is the one that is kind of rotating one direction and the other, flexing, pointing. So it's easier if you have the other leg higher. Changing side. So touching the big toes on the floor and rotating the ankle in one direction, other direction. And flexing and pointing. Good. Another thing you can do to get your ankles more flexible and get strength as well in your lower legs is to keep your feet hip-width apart, like in the mountain pose. You can use a chair or the wall against you for stability, and then go on the toes. And then bring the heels back and lift the toes now, which is the tricky part for me. And repeat. Do that a few times. And now stay on the tip of the toes and slowly bend your legs and see if you can stay in kind of a chair pose, but on the toes. This is really strong practice for the legs. And maybe come all the way down, still on the toes. And if it's comfortable now, bring the heels back on the floor in a squatting position. And then you can sit on the floor and relax. So all these moves, they're really important to keep the flexibility in your ankles, and also if you've got tensions in your shin, in your calves, but you need to do them regularly and as long as you can. I hope it's helpful. Thank you.